Hi, and welcome to LinkedIn for Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Julia Zata, a LinkedIn strategist and ghostwriter, and lover of all things practical when it comes to visibility strategies. This podcast is for service based business owners who want to build their brand on LinkedIn, attract new clients, collaborators, and speaking engagements without overthinking every post or sounding like a corporate robot. And yes, we're going to keep it actionable and fun. Let's dive in. Last week, I talked about the 5 most common mistakes I see founders making on LinkedIn. But this week, I'd like to flip the script and talk about how do you even know that LinkedIn is working for you? The truth about LinkedIn that I've noticed creating content for early stage entrepreneurs and senior leaders is that there are 2 clear patterns that unfold depending on where you are in your business. And I'd like to outline those for you today so that you can see where you are at and what aspects you need to focus on moving forward. Because success on LinkedIn isn't just about likes, comments, or impressions. It's about the relationship that you build with your network, and this gives off different signals at different stages of your business. So let's get into it. I want to start with senior leaders, and what I mean by senior leaders is these are people who have either been with a company for several years or who have founded their own company. The common denominator here is that they have been within their same industry for a long time, even though they've progressed in their career or transitioned from one company to another, or even established their own company. These people have stayed within the industry, and so they've accrued deep industry expertise. They have deep knowledge of how their industry works, and they've also built a very strong network, so people that are relevant to their role today. So for this type of LinkedIn profile, what I notice is that once we start creating content that is strategic and targeted to their audience, with thought leadership type of posts, so mainly industry insights and hot takes, what I've noticed is that the signs that LinkedIn is working for them is that they start to hear more recognition in meetings or private conversations. People come to them saying, "Oh, I saw your post on LinkedIn," or "I see you on LinkedIn all the time." And most importantly, this type of LinkedIn profile starts to gain traction as far as winning new business and also more speaking opportunities. Other influential people within their network see the possibility to increase their own visibility by having this type of profile as a guest, say on their podcast or on their YouTube channel. And when it comes to winning new business, this has to do with showing up consistently and strategically. People in their network not only notice but are reminded that this person exists, which really helps them with winning new business. It also helps them become established and recognized within their network as someone who's relevant to their industry at this particular moment in time. So for senior leaders, LinkedIn isn't just about building credibility from scratch. It's actually about reinforcing the status they've already built over time. Consistent and strategic posting helps them stay top of mind within their circles and become recognized as a thought leader within those circles too. So now let's flip to early stage entrepreneurs. In this case, the relationship that these types of LinkedIn profile have with their network is completely different. As an early stage entrepreneur, the way I see them is somebody who has shifted radically from one industry to another. So maybe they held a specific role within a company, but then decided to start their own business in a completely different industry. And now they're building their network from scratch. In this instance, LinkedIn is more labor intensive because if this is you, your existing network isn't relevant to what you do anymore. The network that you've built in your previous career before your pivot isn't really able to help you or support you in what you're doing now. Some connections might be able to recommend you or help you as far as networking and referrals, but the majority of those people are probably just watching you kind of like voyeurs to see what you're doing, what you're up to, but they can't really help you progress in this new business venture. So if this is you, my recommendation is to use LinkedIn as a networking tool, not just as a place to post content strategically, which although that does matter, you also have to really build up your network. So connecting with other business owners who can help boost your visibility through collaborations. And you also want to be specific about who you accept into your LinkedIn network. So when people send you a connection request, by default, they're going to become followers, and so they will see what you're posting. But if they're not aligned with the type of audience that you're trying to reach, do not accept their connection request. Because if you build a network of just random people, it waters down your brand. You want to build a strong, influential network. And that means not just connecting with people, but also cultivating those relationships. What I see with my early stage entrepreneur clients is that they actually spend a lot of time going to in-person networking events so that they can connect with other business owners and industry leaders that are local to them. And then they use LinkedIn to further those relationships, to follow up, to catch up, and to continue in contact. And they also use LinkedIn to network with people virtually, build relationships, and look for potential partnership opportunities. And that's why I mean that at the early stage, LinkedIn is more labor intensive when it comes to building relationships and deepening those relationships compared to when you are established within your network. Your content pulls a lot more weight for you. And so to recap, what I notice is with senior leaders, people who are established in their network, the way LinkedIn works for them is more through personal and private channels. So emails, WhatsApps, because they have a more deep and personal relationship with their network. Whereas early stage founders, LinkedIn works a lot more through the app. So the relationship building works a lot more through the actual LinkedIn app. That's where you go to meet people, to network, to catch up, to follow up, and to look for collaboration opportunities. And so this means showing up intentionally in people's DMs, sending out connection requests to relevant people, and leaving comments on people's posts that will help you get seen by the people you're trying to reach. But for both profiles, the main common denominator is their network. I think LinkedIn stands out because it allows you to build an intentional network, to know who you're connected with, to select your connections based on who they are, where they live, what company they work for, who they're connected to. And so leveraging this portion of the platform, especially as an early stage entrepreneur, is vital. And so depending on where you are right now in your business, do you need to focus on more strategic content that positions you as a thought leader? Or do you need to spend more time building your network and connecting with people that can help you expand your visibility and grow your business? And if you're not exactly sure what signs to look for in your business when it comes to LinkedIn, I'd love to help you figure it out. I offer a 30-minute LinkedIn visibility call where we can talk about optimizing your profile, your content, and your strategy. That way you can get a better idea of what you should be focusing on next so you can start showing up as the go-to person in your industry. And now to wrap things up, I just want to send you off with a reminder that the next time you're wondering if LinkedIn is actually working for you, don't just look at the numbers, at the statistics, at the analytics. Pay attention to the signals that matter for the stage where you are in your business, whether it's recognition and new business opportunities as a senior leader, or relevant connections and collaborations as an early stage founder. If you found this episode helpful, help me out by sharing it with another business owner or founder who's working on their LinkedIn. And don't forget to book your LinkedIn visibility call with the link that I have added into the show notes. Thanks for tuning in to LinkedIn for Entrepreneurs. If you found this episode helpful, please share it on LinkedIn or on your favorite social media platform. And if you really want to make my day, leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps more business owners find this show. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.